abuse, with women.
Yeah, I knew something new came up this week. I remember seeing the ad. Now I just looked it up. His name's Graham Platner. He was born September of '84. He's an American oyster farmer, a Marine Corps veteran, and a political candidate who is the Democratic nominee for Senate in Maine. So
right, and part of the problem is it's not just one woman. It's like several women have said he was very abusive. He would say things, like, "Oh, you can't leave," or like, "Oh, like if a man does this to me, I will do something to him sexually, but not as a gay man." Like just very. There's videos of him like he's in a bar singing, songs that are kind of like a gay bar type of thing.
Like does he have violent speech?
It's just kind of. He's not a good role model, as you might say. Like, you don't want a guy running for office that has 3 or 4 women accusing them of being physically abusive to them. And he just got either married or he has this gal with him now, and it really looks like she's just there for the ride. Like they're saying, do you care about all this stuff? She's like, well, we'll see how it goes, and he's a nice guy. So the point is, if any man has an abuse problem with women, either party, they throw him out. And they say there's more stuff on him that they're waiting until election time to just dump. So that's people getting nervous. Half of them, like say Schumer's, like, oh well, we can't judge anyone, and he's the choice. All of them, AOC, they're not saying we can't really comment on it, but he's better than Trump. He's better than this. Just we have to take the Senate seat.
That sounds pretty heavy duty. Before we get too deep into the discussion tonight, let's say hi to Suzette, who hasn't joined us in a while.
Yes.
Hi, Suzette. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing all right. I didn't realize that was the man that I heard a little bit about him. And as far as the whole Nazi tattoo and his past with women, I think maybe the Democrat Party chose him because he was a veteran and all this other. They thought he's a manly man. They wanted to find somebody like that would attract people, attract males, because they're losing the male vote.
And in Maine, there's a lot of rugged men up there, like lumberjacks and fishermen.
Yeah.
He looks like Russell Crowe. Like when Russell Crowe did Gladiator, he's got that look. And the thing about it, what it comes down to this, he could be an axe murderer who, buries kids under his house, but he's a Democrat that's going to vote against Trump, and they can get, a Senate seat. And that's really what's come down to. It's like, we'll just take anyone. And he's popular in Maine with kind of the counter.
I don't think he's cute at all, John.
Yeah, me neither.
But the point, neither is Russell Crowe, but the point being is that even the women, they like, I watch NBC, CNN, all of them, Fox, and all the at the polling places, they're asking, like NBC, MSNBC, and CNN, they're asking these women, well, he has accounts of women, accusing of abuse. Isn't that an issue? And they're like, well, we got to have someone in there, to get Collins out. We have to win that Senate seat. It's like, do you understand what you were saying about Trump, or about, we had a Texas senator that quit, because he had abuse problems? Like, but this is different. So I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what he's done. They want to get that Senate seat. They want to get the House.
They're trying to present a certain image.
Right. But then the image backfires on them because they go and call Trump a Nazi, and here
because the new lines are saying, we don't care what he's done in the past. What is he now? And he's that he's making changes. But here's the thing: he's going online like Tinder and these dating sites, and he's chatting up while he was married. He's chatting up other women.
I really think he sounds like he's a big potential problem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But the issue is he's the best he has a shot. They say Collins is unbeatable. Like every year, they always think they can get her out because they want to change. But she's really solid with her base, and so they'd have to really get a lot of people flipping. They want to flip with the war, with Iran, and they want to flip with gas prices, things like that, to try and.
The thing is, though, I'm sorry. He doesn't. When he gives his speeches, it's just word salad. He doesn't talk about the war in Iran. He doesn't talk about lowering gas prices. He doesn't talk about any of that. He just wants to set people free and talk about freedom. And it's just really bizarre. Listen to one of his speeches. And like,
he is a walking rainbow flag, basically.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, you got to give something for people to vote for. We are pretty much free, but I mean, so what are you talking about freedom when you should be talking about things of substance?
Yeah, the talking point is basically we want abortion, we want gay rights, we want trans, and we want to get rid of Donald Trump. And basically that's the program. And where you get the women vote, it's a majority of women will say, I want abortion ability if I get pregnant. I don't want to get stuck with a kid. And ICE, we just want illegals in here, and we want to get rid of Trump and get out of the war in Iran. And those are the three things. That's the selling point. Everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't want. This is a very interesting discussion, and I'm just going to bring up another point. I heard the Republican. I guess he was endorsed by Trump. I heard a governor person who is trying to fight for the California governorship. Yes, I felt like he's talking about policies, and then he's talking about what's winnable and what would be appealing to a mass amount of people. And he said, we want to get gas back to $3. We want to lessen the electrical bills, and all those things are good and rational. But it's my understanding that he wasn't very realistic when it's a heavy Democratic state. And maybe
it's a tough sell.
Maybe
an interesting point is I looked up inflation. Under Joe Biden, it was 9% to 10%. Trump is at 5%, and so it's kind of a weird thing. Gas prices, they were just as high under Biden, and we didn't have a war. Once this thing does get settled, and there is a lot of pressure to get it settled, it will settle down. But the question is, will people still vote with the impression? A very interesting thing I found about California, when I went to vote, I said, "Oh, here's my ID." They said, "No, we don't need it." It's like, "Well, no, I still want you to look at it." It's like, no. They said, "What's your name?" They said, "Your name." And then they looked up, "Do you live at this current address?" They didn't even ask me to repeat. I said, "Yeah, I'm at 2041 Euclid." I went through the whole thing, but it's like they didn't care. And what happens is they sent out 23 million ballots. In LA, about 5 to 7 million people vote. About 5 million.
That's only 25%.
Well, here's the thing. I've talked to people, and you'll hear it on the news. Anyone who's ever lived in California, like Jane, you should get a ballot from California.
I still get emails from the Democratic Party on my old Yahoo account.
Yes, and anyone who's dead, alive, who's legal, not legal, who has ID, not ID. People sign up when they get the Obama phones. They sign them up. Every time they do that, it's like, "Oh, are you registered to vote here? We'll put you on the list." And so they got 23 million of these. And what happens is that a lot of these ballots, they go to, say, an apartment or a rest home or whatever. And in the lobby, how you'll have extra mail just sitting around. There are people called the runners, and like Armenian gangs and other people, they go and they collect those, and they take them, and then they, like I got 5,000 ballots, I got 10,000 ballots, and then they contact these politicians like Bass or Rahman or whoever, Democratic people, and they say, "How many votes do you need? How much money you got?" Well, they have millions. It's like, "Oh, I'll sell you, 10,000 votes for X amount of money. In a warehouse right now in California, they have millions of these votes.
I have to interrupt though for a minute.
It's called harvesting, but go right ahead.
Trump has a new directive. The Postal Service won't deliver mail ballots for states that don't hand over their voter lists under a plan that Donald Trump has created.
Here's the reason for that.
And he did it as an executive order.
Right. Well, here's the deal, because all those ballots, they literally have, like I say, they have 23 million or 20 or 15 mil or 10 mil sitting in a warehouse. They're in big bundles all over the place, and they're in no hurry to count them. And they don't. And then they feel they have to verify it. Like 5 or 6 people have to look at them. And the point is, I can sign anything. And they go, well, we got to compare it. Does it look good? Does it not look good? It's not like me walking in person and going, this is John. Here's my ID. Here's my signature. That's a one-off. But with this stuff, I can bring in, here's 50 ballots. Here's just sign them, whoever the name is, boom, and I'm voting for Bass or Rahman. And there's no double check. Now, what the Republicans want to do is let's have auditors go in there. And the controller for the Californians says, it's a state issue. You can't inspect it. No one gets to look at it. Not even the feds, because it's a state control issue. So what Trump is saying is, okay, you give me the rolls of the people and we will verify, because we know their social security number. We know if they pay taxes. We know if they're dead or alive. We can confirm that. And because those ballots are delivered by the U.S. mail, that's a federal issue. So Trump is backdooring. It's we won't deliver those ballots. It's because you want the government to deliver, your dirty work, or potential. I'll say potential, because it's unconfirmed. So that's where the dilemma is. And what happens is the Republican districts like Orange County, they finish out in the same night or the next day. They go, well, here's all the count. We have all these millions of ballots, and then people.
I do have a good point, though.
Anyone can, if they think about this. Let's say there's 1,200 workers. All you need is 5 or 10 shady people in the middle of the night go with a key. Go, we need 30,000 for Rahman. Platt was second. He came in at about 28%, 28 to 30, and then Bass had 38%, and Rahman had 22%, and literally 90, it's weird. She got the higher majority. Rahman did more than Bass of the mail-ins. It doesn't make any sense. Platt got nothing, next to nothing. Especially the last couple batches, they would do a batch a day. Here's 50,000 votes, and Platt's getting nothing, or 1% or 2%.
Not like that, but California hasn't cleared their rolls. They haven't cleared their voter rolls in I don't know how many years, and they were ordered to by the courts, and they still haven't done it. They refused. And there were homeless shelters that have organizations, NGOs that feed them and house them and whatnot, but they're going around paying homeless people to vote, $2, $5. That's pretty much the going rate. To sign and register to vote and to vote, and they don't even know what. I'll give you an example. So, someone will go to in LA. This happens. This literally happens. A guy say me, who gets paid by the party, goes up to Skid Row, and tells all these people, okay, you want to vote, and I've got 1,000 ballots, and go up, okay, you want to vote for Bass, because she's against ICE. You want ICE, and you want free housing, right? You want free Medicare, you want free food, you want, your EBT. And they go, of course, hell yeah, I don't want Trump, he's bad. So then they go, okay, well, just sign here. I'll show you what to do. Just sign your name here. You're going to check this, thank you very much. In fact, here's a couple bucks, and then you go, I've got 1,000 ballots, or I got 100 ballots. It's verified. Those are people that aren't going to vote, or maybe even shouldn't vote, but they're being offered pay them though.
Here's the gravy train. So I'm just saying that is happening. To what level, we don't know.
Yeah, undercover footage that's been sent to the DOJ of numerous NGOs doing that with homeless, and many times they don't even offer them as far as you want to vote for Bass because of this. It's just basically, where do I go to get $5 to vote? You know, and so that's basically all they're doing is just signing their name just for the $5, you know, because they can use that to go buy drugs or whatever. And so it's been down to that. I mean, to where people are just wanting money, even if it's a couple of bucks, because they don't care. You know, they're homeless and they want to get their fix or whatever. So
I do want to bring up. I want to bring up 2 points that just in relationship to the discussion. The first one is the post office said they're going broke in a year, so we somehow have to continue to fund that organization, even though stamps are 40 cents each. And secondly, you guys live in California, so you have more expertise on this level, but at this particular time, it seems very far-fetched that a Republican could win a major office there. The last major office won was by Nixon and Reagan for president and Schwarzenegger for governor. So it just seems far-fetched to me that a Republican could turn the tables that much.
There's 2.9 million registered Democrats and about 1-point-something million Republicans. So that's a 3-to-1 unregistered. So I don't even think they need to cheat. I mean, I just think, you know, but the thing is they don't have a good turnout. But they do have a lot of promoters and runners. Harvesting. They call it ballot harvesting. They call it a jungle election. You know, like California is basically it's just a jungle. Everyone jumps in and goes at it. That's kind of when you even go to vote. There's like 60 names, so you got to look for your guy. And you know, Bass is going to be at the very beginning.
And some states like you know the presidential year. Some states on those years, in the primary, you have to choose a party before you vote. You have to choose everything within party line.
We also had 2 ballot boxes, so when you drop off your ballots, catch on fire.
Really?
Yep. And yet that, what is her name, Mimia Rami or whatever her name is, with those mail-in ballots, all of a sudden, within 2 or 3 days after the election.
So there's a very good point. So, in other words, you know, yeah, there could be cheating in software and this and that. I mean, that's possible. But the point is, it's probably improbable when I show up or you show up and you vote. You're checked in. You know, they know it's you physically, and it goes in. With the ballots, like I say, there's 23 million of these. And the point is, even if they say we verified the signature or it looks close enough, the point is we don't know who signed it. We don't know who turned it in. Well,
one thing is that when Trump complains about stuff like this, he's too ostentatious. Like he doesn't use the right language. He goes, they cheated, they did this, they did that. No one's gonna buy that with the way he frames his argument.
Except for his party.
Well, he has to say it in a more prolific manner. Like, I don't necessarily trust all the votes that were cast in LA. You know, say it like that. Don't just don't blurt it out like they cheated. They cheated.
Yeah, it just sounds like he's complaining that he doesn't really have, because he doesn't put anything of substance as far as how are they cheating.
Right, and he mailed in his presidential vote. So he has to be a man of his word. Like if he wants to walk to the poll and cast the vote, then just do that.
Well, here's another point. California, Silicon Valley, we have the most sophisticated technology, and yet here we are. You know, 4 or 5 days, 6 days later, there's no other place. You know, countries like India, they do like millions of votes the same evening. It doesn't necessarily mean they're cheating, but it leaves a wide open door that no one can verify. And that shouldn't be allowed. There's no reason for that. But they say, well, we want just democracy. Well, the problem is it puts their hands in 1,200 people working in a warehouse or 100 people, and anyone can shift money and say, throw this pile in, throw that pile out.
Well, John, it is the most popular. 1 out of every 10 Americans live in California. And during the Florida recount, Gore v. Bush, the Florida Supreme, I did a paper on it in college. The Florida Supreme Court was at the verge of finishing the recount that separated 520 votes, and the U.S. Supreme Court hijacked it right out of their hands. So, like in those overpopulated states, sometimes it does take longer.
But I was honest enough as a Republican to say George Bush won that vote with Jeb Bush counting.
Well, he did win. He won by.
And I have to be honest and say, come on, there's no way he's not going to let his brother lose.
Did you know that it was only like a 500 vote difference?
Yes, that became the hanging chat thing, right? That they were throwing votes in and out because of the hanging chat.
That was only one county. They counted Broward County, and I think maybe one more, Dade and Broward.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think, it's just be honest. We've always had it this way. Just show up, you vote. You have plenty of time, and you can make it down there. And the ballot, the mail-in should just be if you're handicapped, if you're out of state, if you're in the military, if you have a special exception. But there's plenty of time to vote. It's not like just one day. You have a couple weeks. You can go in there and vote. So
many counties have electronic voting.
Who can't go to the grocery store? Who can't go, get gasoline? Who can't go to work? But here's what happened was because of COVID. Before then, mail-in was 5-10%, but with COVID, no one could vote. Like, remember, we can't go in because everyone will die, so now we're all going to mail this stuff in, and that's when they created this very bulletproof system. If you want to cheat, so I'm not saying they're cheating, but I'm just saying it's so ripe. And then you look at the results. Again, Bass should have won at least as many as Rahman, but she didn't. She got smoked by Rahman. Platt got completely blitzed out.
Well, who did Karen Bass win?
She did, and she's going to have. But here's the thing: it's just you pick the top two people. So they got rid of the Republicans. So there's no counter. So it's two socialists. Rahman is actually more progressive than Bass, and Bass went to Cuba in like 20 some years ago when she was out of high school. She modeled to be like Fidel Castro, like that system, just like Obama. They love a communist socialist thing. So, and Rahman is more progressive than her. So you have two communists running to take over, the most powerful state in the U.S. So but now Hilton, that'll be an interesting thing because he did get in.
People accuse Zerani or whatever his name, the guy in New York, of being a full-fledged communist.
Rahman is the one that basically said when the Cadillac converters are getting stolen big time in her city, that rather than to arrest the thieves and punish them, prosecute them for stealing those out of people's cars or from underneath their cars, to actually punish the company who created the catalytic converters because they made them so that they could be stolen.
That's
Rahman's top
that's insane.
Issue, like she wanted to promote, was to outlaw barbecue.
John, tell Suzette your catalytic converter story briefly. Tell John, tell her because she wasn't on the show that night.
It's still going on. So to get your tags to drive around and not get towed or get tickets, you have to pass your smog test. Well, mine came up with a evaporation canister leak. So for whatever, all it is, it's a plastic box. It fits next to your exhaust system. So imagine like wearing a mask. And you're breathing back in the air that you're exhausting. It's the same concept. And what it wants to do is intake your exhaust so it burns a little bit more efficiently or less emissions. It doesn't make your car run better. It's like wearing a mask and going for a marathon. It actually is worse. But anyway, the point is, it came up with the code and a leak, and with that I can't get it smog. Like you go in and it's like we can't even hook it up and start it. You have to clear that. So I got a canister. I had them install it, and that was because it's not attached to the engine like most smart companies. GM put it, or Dodge put it. Yeah, I'm sorry. the Camaro GM, they put it underneath or above the rear axle. So they have to drop the rear end to get to it. So it's a $1,400 repair plus $400 part. So I got it done, and then it still said I had a leak. So then there's a valve that also goes with it. So I had that replaced. That's 50 plus 150 labor. So it's $200 there. So now I'm up to $1,600. But the great news is it still showed up as having a leak. So I go back to the
That's
place
insane.
they said, well, here's the problem. The reason I didn't get it done months ago is because no one had the part. I had to special order. So they said, because you gave us the part, we didn't buy the part from O'Reilly. You did. It's not covered. Like, you're going to have to pay another $1,400 plus the $200. So now I'm up to $2,800. Plus, I gotten towed by the police parking person. Actually, I went to a police tow yard. So $485 to get my car out, plus $60 ticket. And so on top of that, so they go, you have to drive it 200 miles, and some say, a couple cycles. When you turn it on, turn it off, it's a cycle. But so I go in and do the 200 miles, do a few cycles, I go in again to the smog place to go, you still have an evap code leak. Really? So
if I were you, I would have sold the car.
I think clear the codes. I do it again, go back in and go, you still got a leak. So I go back to the guys who did the work. This time they're going to cover it because, they did the work. They do a test with the smoke thing and said there's no leaks. So I don't know, maybe it's a chip problem with the computer. But anyway, they said, try it again, and if it still has a code, we'll dig into it. So the point is, I'm driving around still, and I know it's not going to pass. I know it's going to have the code. But that's California. Wow. It used to be if you spend a couple $1,000, they would give you a pass. But you better hurry up and get it right.
You should have gone to you should have gone to a smog test station and paid them $500 cash and say, "Pass me, dude."
They used to do that in California. Slick had a connection, and he'd get all the cars done there. And the problem is, California started cracking down and fining and even suspending their license, so no one will touch it now. Before you used to wink, go, make sure you pass. They would hook you up to another car, or they would tweak the machine. Now you can't do that, or they're afraid of getting busted because maybe I'm a plant, right, to bust them. So they will not do it. No one will do it. And the old rule used to be a few years ago: if you just spent up to $2,000 or $2,500, you tried, they go, okay, we'll give you a pass anyway.
I would have in that case, John, I would have given up. What do you think, Suzette?
Yeah, really, just spending all that money and then for what? For nothing.
Yeah, a nuisance thing. He pushed this thing. And we're living under the curse, and we import 80 or 90% of our oil in California. Yet we have, we're energy independent, and we have more gas reserves than oil reserves than anywhere. But that's California.
So did you ever get your tags?
I'm sorry?
Did you ever get the tabs?
The tabs? Oh, no, I still don't have those. So I have to be kind of parking and moving my car at certain times, on certain days to make sure they don't ticket it and tow it. And then I get another 480. Like, I got a release from DMV so I can drive it around right now. But thank you. God bless you.
Are you at a church?
Yeah, they just had their service. I had to leave to do the show, but they're very nice. So they were like telling me to come in and eat.
Okay, Suzette, I gave John 3 options. I told him to drive to Nevada or Arizona and register it there, sell the car, or find somebody that has a house where you can park your car at night.
Oh, but by the way, that's not even the sad, the tough luck story. The Durango, the SUV, which I repoed, friendly repo from Acosa, the brother man with 5 kids, 4 that live with them, who's living rent free in. You
told me it was full of dust bowls and spider webs.
Yeah, I went over to repo it, and then it's in the garage, but he couldn't start it. It would crank, but it wouldn't fire, and then. He couldn't get into neutral because we can't start it. And there's a cord apparently that he was pulling, like, there's an emergency cord. So he's got a tool and he's trying to pull this cord, and we're trying to push the car out. He had a flat tire on top of it. Anyway, I tow it to this place. They look it up and they go, it needs a new engine and it needs a water pump. And I said, really? I said, seriously. I said, what's wrong with it technically? He said, the both cams, it's a dual cam engine. They're both broken. They're cracked. I said, how could that possibly happen? Like what did he do? Did he drive without oil? Did he drive without water? He said, look at the electrical. So he shows me the fuse box, and there's some wires loose on it. I go, what's this? He says, yeah, what is this? So with some of these fuses not working right, the cylinder isn't firing right, so it backs up, overheats, and it cracks. I go, great, because we bought a $1,700 warranty on it. You know, like because there's engine, brakes, all these things, because I figure, you know, dumbass would break something and it covered the first 2 years. But it says on there, you know, if you don't maintenance it properly, if you're negligent, blah, 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 it avoids the warranty. So I told the repair guys, I said, can you put those wires back to it looks like it was okay? You know, it doesn't have to work. Just don't make it look like it's jerry-rigged. And then I will not blame you. I like, you had nothing to do with it. This is just the way it's been driving. So I said, I have a feeling I'm sure they're going to decline the coverage because it's all covered under warranty. And he said, these guys, they'll send out a tech. It's like CSI LA. It's like, it's going to be like, they're going to find the bloody glove of OJ. They're going to find the knife that because there's insurance, basically. They're not going to, if they paid every claim, they'd go out of business. Yeah. So they aren't super detectives. He said, their mechanics are better than all of our mechanics. Like, they will find whatever's wrong in it.
So can you sell it for parts? Can you sell it for parts?
Well, here's the deal. I got 14 in it. And then 6 more to pay it off. So that'd be $20,000. Plus I got to keep the insurance and the registration. That's the next 2 years. So that's going to be another $6,000. So that would be about 2,400 into 24,000. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Skip the insurance.
25,000 on it. And here's the thing. It still won't run. You know, we'd have to throw in some more money. So
all right, John, go park it in Slick's garage carport where he rented 2 spots. Take your van out, sell your van, and do something with it, man.
Well, here's how I look at it. At first, I was like, I don't want to eat 14,000, but now I'm looking, okay, to spend another 10 to 15, about 15,000 for a vehicle I don't need. It'd be just a backup. I have the van. I just fix up the brakes. I'm good. Put a new bumper on for a couple grand. And I save, $10,000 or more. It runs great, less miles. It passes smog. I can sleep in it, live in it, run all my gear. So it's like I'm telling my brother, in the next $5,000, it's just my car, my van, and you. I'm not going to throw it in a Durango. I'll just call up the finance company and say, take it. Tell me where you want it towed. I'm not going to pay another cent on it. It's a loss at 14,000, but the next 15 to pay it off and everything, it's just that's Titanic. It's like it's
not worth it.
Ridiculous.
Well, I hope that
go to Africa for $1,200, spend $5 on the cars and stuff, and then spend $5,000 and go to Vegas or somewhere, and have fun with life. It's stupid.
I have a question.
I haven't driven that vehicle one foot. Not 1 foot.
You bought a Durango for somebody?
He bought a $21,000 car for a guy, and he won't even let me live with him unless I give out.
Well, here's the thing. The funny thing is he's a nice guy. He's got a great reputation. He's cool dude. So, and he was got his RN license, and there's an extra license where you can be this traveling, certified nurse thing. Mm-hmm. And he got his degree. Great. He graduated, and he called me up. I'd met him in Riverside through my brother, street witnessing. He's a preacher too. He's okay. This is great. He's got some kids. He's a responsible dude. So he said, "Can I just stay with you guys for a week or so? I got this new job in, at Orange County. It's closer to from where you're at." And I'm like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but sure, you stay a week, So he stays. He drives his Charger over. First night, the thing breaks down two blocks from where we live. I go, what's wrong with it? It's got a flat tire and it's got a hole in the engine block. Well, anyway, we can't get the tire off. Like we're literally, we pushed it across the street to a tire place and they had their mechanics remove it. That should have been signed. So, $150 for the tire, not a problem. I have him take it across town to this good mechanic. He's driving it like 20 miles on the freeway an hour. It can't go further. So the guys look at it, they go, it's got a hole in the engine block. And he's like, I think I can fix it. I said, no, you can't. So basically he's like, okay, this is a loss. You're going to have to get this car back to Riverside going 20 miles an hour, but we'll do that. So I go, listen, for the next, you need your job. You got this great job. You're going to have bucks, lots of bucks. He said, oh yeah, I'll first month or two, I'll just have 10 grand. I'll, buy something or I'll pay you or whatever. So I go, okay, we'll go and hang out in the van. We'll live in the van for 2 weeks while you get this new job, get your, feet on the ground. And while we're doing that, I'm sorry.
Poor
Susan. And everything, his family?
Apart from his family, yeah, he's like that's how dedicated. It's like, I'm going to make this work. It's like going on, like in the service or like on vacation. It's like, I'm working this first this month. I got to keep this job. Great, he's dedicated. He's willing to sacrifice. So we're sleeping in the van. He's in the back. I'm in the front. And he's going to work. I'm taking him there. The first week, and then we start looking for a car for him, and his credit's jacked. So we went to 20 different places. I went to guys I even knew, tried to work a deal for them. And every place was like, listen, you have great credit. He doesn't. The only deal we can do is with you. We can't even have you co-sign with him. So, so I'm like, well, okay, that might be better because at least it'll be in my name instead of his name. So I can pull it any time, So he said, don't worry, first month, I'll give you everything. We'll pay it off. I'm like, give me 50% and take 2 to 3 months. You got to feed your family. I'm not an advisor. Not a problem. So then and then what set that off was I said before taking the van, I said, listen, just take my Camaro, drive it to work. You know how to drive a stick. He said, yeah, not a problem. Okay, great. He had moved it for me one time when we were preaching at the streets in Hollywood. So he moved it. Okay, he knows how to drive a clutch. 5 minutes later, he calls me up and goes, car's not running. I said, really? So I skateboard like a mile and a half down, and I swear, and I don't swear, but I swear, a block and a half away, I can smell the clutch of my car.
Oh my God!
I can smell it. A block. To see a car a block halfway, and I'm smelling my car, and I'm like, he burned out how could you burn out the clutch? Like, what do you do? Like, just floor it and just stand there and do burnouts for like 5 minutes? It took him 5 minutes. How could you do it? Anyway, I didn't, accuse him of anything. I said, well, let's figure out what's wrong with it. So I just replaced the clutch on it, $3,000.
Oh,
so
God.
I take it back to the shop, and they were Christians, and they were very nice. They said, listen, we'll do it as a warranty. I'll charge you just $1,000 just for the parts. That's it.
So he ruined the car?
Yeah, but fortunately, it only cost me $1,000. Everything got back to place. So, but no more car for him. So, and I thought, I don't want him driving my van, so we'll just get him a vehicle. So I thought, great, we'll get a car, pick the thing, and then off we go. And then it's been in the year, in 14 months, he's paid like 3 different months. He's made his payments. That's it. And so I finally gave him a red line. I said, listen, if I don't get money by my birthday, which was Memorial Day, May 30th, deals off. Like, it doesn't matter if you paid later. It doesn't matter. It's over. It's just no hard feelings. Just we're done. So I go to pick it up. Oh yeah, when I picked up the vehicle, the Durango, it had cobwebs. Oh, May 2nd, he said, listen, end of the month I'll have 50% of my check. That's gonna be a couple grand. Cause you're making 4 or 5 grand a month at the hospital system. Fine, not a problem. So I said, but by May 28th, you get your paycheck. So by May 30th, my birthday, if I don't have money, it's done. I don't care. No excuses.
Yeah.
So May 28th, I go, hey, what's going on? He goes, can you give me 2 more weeks? I go, no, we're
you
done.
should said no.
So I said, I'll pick it up. So I go pick it up. the vehicle has cobwebs on it. Not just cobwebs on the tires, but like when they make nest eggs and it's like cotton ball, little white fluffy thing. Yeah. So that thing has not been sitting for one day.
Yeah.
It's sit for a couple months. and putting it in the shop, knowing that the cams are broken, it's not been running, and he's been like flying or something and not going to work, and because he said, well, it's hard, keeping a regular time because I kind of watch the kids, and it's like I don't even believe anything he says now. It's like I don't.
So like you don't even know if he had been working.
Well, obviously, he said the problem getting regular work is he's not in the registry. Like once you get your degree, they put you in the registry. So I said, it's been a year. Why aren't you in the registry? I bet he's got some, maybe he did something wrong at the hospital, and or maybe he did something not criminal, but they saw something in his record and go, we're not going to put you on a registry. If you have a whatever, misdemeanor or felony, who knows? The point is, I go, you go down there and you fix it. Like, that's all you do. You don't do anything else. You just go down there, find out who's in charge, and in 1 week, you track it down, and you get on the registry, and you start working regular. So now it's like a total scam. It's like, I'm just going to...
It's been lying for you all this time.
Yeah, Jon, you need a warranty on friends.
Yeah.
Like
the point is the experiment's over. Like no one gets any help for any reason, especially people who have a lot of melanin in their pigmentation.
Jon, that's racist.
I'm over 15 with the dark side of life.
Well, don't say that. Don't say that.
14 months and he hasn't mentioned anything about it not working and him not working.
Yeah, I'm not a vengeful person, but it's like, okay, I'm done with people. Just done.
Yeah.
I can't believe he ruined your...
That goes on your credit.
He ruined your clutch on the vehicle that you like. He mangled his Dodge Charger, and he let your other fancy car go idle.
He has a master class in FUBAR. Like he can F things up beyond repair.
And also, you're the one donating plasma, so you can give to people of color. So why don't you take all your plasma money and get your cars fixed?
Well, things like I say, things are going to roll really good now because, like, basically, I can roll everything else if I just dump the Durango. Or work a deal with. I talked to them. They could drop a rebuild in, but I don't even want to deal with it anymore.
Well, there's a lot of smart mechanics.
Who knows what else you screwed up?
There's a lot of good mechanics in LA, and you've lived there a long time. You must know somebody who could give you good advice.
But already, and the other car, the Camaro. Is that what you said you had? Camaro. I'd cut my losses.
Yeah, it's kind of, I like to save, salvage things, but when it comes down to economics, like if it was just $5 more to go and it would work, I would say yes, because if I get another SUV, that would be $10,000. So yeah, that makes sense. But to spend another 15 with 14 out, it's ridiculous. And still not knowing what's there. Who knows?
You should fly to Minnesota, buy a used car for $2,000, and you'll be happy the rest of your life.
The problem, though, is that it's not going to be California smog. That's the problem.
I know. So, Suzette, can I just tell you one story quick before we hang up the show?
Sure.
So, Jon and I went to go see you the last time. We drove all the way to your city, Ontario, and all the way back. Then he decided he was hungry, and he had coupons for El Pollo Loco. We had to weave through all this 5:30 p.m. hideous traffic. We got all the way there, and he said, the lady said the coupon was no good or something, and he said, well, I'm not going to eat. After driving like 200 miles that day.
Oh my gosh.
Jon, so that was.
You have to have your standards.
I know, but I'm just saying, I was the dumb cluck driving the rent-a-car everywhere, and then you pull that stunt on Jane Hoffman. So I ordered my own El Pollo Loco, and he ate some, I think. Or
I think so. Yeah, but I have some new coupons.
You're boring. I'll never go on an internet date with you. You're boring.
I used up all my Jack coupons. The June 8th, I used them up to the last moment.
Really?
Yeah, we did too. These are. Is that what you brought? You brought me El Pollo Loco when you guys came.
We did? I think I bought it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Waste not, want not.
So,
but I ate it.
It was good.
It was cold and I ate it. It was good.
No Democratic gravy train for us. No way. We got our coupons.
So, Suzette, I'll probably be there around Christmas, but I did go to see Cookie, and I wasted a trip to Arizona, and it didn't turn out so well. But Jon's gonna pick on me if I elaborate, so I'll tell you privately what happened.
He's a broken cookie.
Yes, he's a broken cookie. So, Suzette, have you done any traveling this summer?
No. I was invited to. My husband and I were invited to, but because of certain circumstances, I can't travel right now. But we're working on it, fixing it, or finding out what's causing it. So.
Okay, well.
I have plans to.
Sorry to hear that, but I hope they work out in the future.
Yeah, me too. Because I have two sisters. One's in Florida and one's in Texas, and they each want us to come out and visit and show us around town and stuff. And so we're kind of looking forward to going, but yeah, we can't do that right now.
I guess if they come and see,
somewhere to put our dog.
Yeah. That would be a troublesome, maybe.
Yeah, probably, maybe. What do they have, those places where you can take them?
Those kennel places?
Yeah,
Jon, does your brother still have friends in the Riverside area that could help Suzette?
No, the only one guy he stays in contact with went to Phoenix. I don't know why he's in Arizona, because, as an ex-felon, it's like, that's hell. Yeah, because the guy's living in his car, and everywhere he goes, there's always someone after him. It's like I said, well, why is he out there? It's like I would try to survive in the desert or in the snow. As a homeless ex-convict, I would be in California. I mean, it's just as a strategy.
Are you talking about the weather because it's so hot?
Well, I guess I really don't know why he's always getting into trouble. He's a nice guy. He's always, people are trying to mess with him. Yeah, because they see him in the vehicle and the windows down, and they go over there and mess around with him. I told him, just like, get out of there. Go to California, find a nice, coastline, and go.
Looking for 3 hots in a cot. I mean,
he's
just increasing his chances.
Why doesn't he go into a social service program? They have houses for felons. Ex-cons.
If he pays rent, he can live in the van.
You need
that option.
Jon. You need a side hustle right now.
He can live with the COSA.
Jon, do you have any money left?
Yeah, I always have backup. Always. Yeah, you do. You just don't spend it all, And so, because the point is, you let, example, let's say the Durango, they're the one on the hook. It's like, I just don't pay them anything. Like, you want to take it, pick it up. So just don't spend all the money and give it to them, because then you're broke. So you hold the money, and let them take the loss. I've taken the big loss. They've gotten theirs. They've gotten $14,000 out of it. It's a $12,000 vehicle. So, wow. Yeah.
Because you were making the payments?
Yeah, well, I had to because at first he said he was going to do it, and then he said, "Oh, I talked to the finance company, and they're going to send the bill to me and the insurance." I said, "Oh, that's wow, that's great, okay, amazing." And then about 2 months later, I get this notes. It's like, hey, you're seriously overdue. I go, well, I guess someone didn't take care of it, so I paid everything up, and it made sure the insurance is on it, and then from there on, I told him, I'm like, I can't have my credit get bashed over this.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. As long as I pay my rent and I pay my other bills, this is just, this can be trashed. And in a couple of years, my credit will go back to whatever. Because I have great credit. I always have great credit. So,
So John,
wow.
you got to take care of yourself too. You could get a part-time job. You're over 60. Are you 67 now?
But I have to be very careful about certain things. And I have
No, what I'm saying is,
ex-girlfriend that's out there
still
sending me crazy texts.
Social Security says the year you turn 67, you can make as much money as you want.
That's true, but as you know, Jane, there are many angles in life, and I have many different angles I have to play. And of course, there are people who are terrorists who will try to expose or betray me. So I have to, cover home base. Just look at Donald Trump, right? They want 34 felonies because he paid off, a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, but
and that's not even against the law.
All I'm telling you is
Just the way
protect.
he documented it, so you got to be careful. I understand.
Yes.
Just protect yourself. That's what I'm saying. You live in a tough city. You don't live.
I don't have sex, and I still use protection. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're living in Dubuque, Iowa. You're in LA, and you have to protect yourself.
I always have a glove on, even when I go to the bathroom.
I'm hanging the show up because now you're changing the course of events.
Are you gonna flush me?
I'm muting you, man. So can everybody say their final conclusion?
Final conclusion. Life. Shit happens.
My conclusion is I've been clean gambling for 6 months with only one relapse. So now I've been clean 90 days. I trust
That's
Jesus
wonderful.
more and more because I listen to Charles Stanley every day. And my whole life is coming into a new fruition too.
Now you're starting a new chapter. Good for you.
The Lord's, and plus I told Suzette and Jon, I qualified for public housing, and I don't know if I'm going to take it for sure yet. But I probably will, because then I could work 1 day a month and still have low rent. So
there you go. I would. You've been working your ass off for a long time, so.
yeah, so I agree. So that would really free me up to do other things.
Yes. And you wouldn't have to stress.
Right now I am stressed. But that's because I had 3 debit cards hacked this week, plus my whole PayPal account was hacked, plus 3 debit cards.
Oh my gosh.
And I lost my wallet in Walmart, but somebody found it.
Well, that's good.
So
Well, just make sure that it's safe and clean and all that stuff, which I'm sure you will. And yeah, I would go for it.
sorry I haven't stayed in good touch, Suzette.
What's that?
Sorry I haven't been in very good touch with you.
Oh no, don't worry about it. I've been busy myself over here, different things, and so I get it. But we connect every now and then, and that's good for me. I mean, as far as we do it more, great. We don't, well, we will. Eventually.
I'm cutting my hours at Walmart to 7 hours a day, so maybe on a Sunday night I can call in one night.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You're always welcome. Talk to you on Sunday nights.
Wow.
I guess starting at 5 or 6 p.m. Well, you're in California, so
she's one of the hosts. Jon, she's one of the hosts.
Well, my conclusion is I did an official tallying everything I've lost in business deals in my life, and I've now gone over $1 million. So, so what we can conclude today is that I've lost more money than Suzette, and Suzette has outlived Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, and Elvis. So my advice is,
Oh my
be
God.
like Suzette.
Or be like Slick. Oh, by the way,
that's what we've learned in life.
All of us have outlived Michael Jackson, Prince, and
That's true.
and Lisa Presley.
But not all of us have lost $1 million.
That's true.
I only lost 13,000 to gambling over a 5-year period.
That's not too bad.
And I wasn't dating a creepy person taking money from me.
Tomorrow you can invest in Elon Musk's company.
That's what Bianchi said in it. The Walmart crash last week. I mean, the Wall Street.
If you put $1,000 on that pony, you'll probably make 100,000 in a couple of years.
When I get in a better place, I'll do it. Okay.
I think I'm gonna buy one chip. I think it's $230 a share, I believe. What's $200?
Well, after I
lost 14,000, what's $200? Come on.
That's true. Really, it's a very drop in the bucket.
After I pay,
Instead of $1 million in the stock market, you know how much money I would have now?